everyone, how you doing today? It's me, David, Jersey Boy Music, coming to you from the old Beatles corner. So we're collecting the Beatles 101, but technically this is not a Beatles video per se. I wanted to kind of get into some of my favorite solo Beatles stuff, and most of the solo Beatles stuff I enjoy is from Paul McCartney. Um, some of John's solo stuff is good, but his early solo stuff that I've heard is just basically like him and Yoko screaming, and I don't know. I gotta get into some of that other stuff. The George stuff from All Things Must Pass was great. Bangladesh, great. And I don't know, then the next thing I knew of was Cloud9. Ringo, forget about it. Maybe his greatest hit stuff. But I want to focus on Paul, and what better way to start off with the Paul McCartney stuff is this album here, Band on the Run. Yes, I know. You had McCartney, you had Wings Wildlife, and Red Rose Speedway, and Ram, and I think this was his fifth, post Beatles solo album. But man, what an album! To be honest, the previous albums, solo albums of his, I can't really listen to. I don't really enjoy them. However, I think safe to say, consensus is Band on the Run was the turning point in Paul's solo career. So I have some facts and figures. Band on the Run was released December of 1973 worldwide. Mainly, for the most part, it was recorded at the EMI studios in Lagos, Nigeria. But reportedly, the studio wasn't EMI standards, what Paul was used to. Paul and Linda were robbed at knife point. They lost tapes and lyric sheets and yada yada yada. Reportedly, the local musicians weren't as easy to work with as Mr. McCartney. Sir Paul at nowadays was used to working with. And Denny Sewell and Henry McCulloch, who were in Wings, that previous iteration of Wings, had left the band, probably thinking they were going to be in a 5-member equal 5-way share of a band, not realizing it was Paul with a backing band. So that left Paul and Linda McCartney, and Denny Lane is in my ears and in my eyes. Denny Lane. So the album was then finished at George Martin's AIR studio in London. Assisting Paul, who produced the album, was Jeff Emerick, who was the Beatles sound engineer. Classic albums like Revolver and Rubber Soul and that sort of deal. Maybe not Rubber Soul. Anyway, Band on the Run. So this is a nice early, maybe first U.S. pressing. Got a nice hype sticker on there. This came packaged with a poster reminiscent of the White Album poster, in my opinion, and a nice heavy inner sleeve with the lyrics, and then a picture of the band, and then a nice, there we go, nice label on the album over there, mastered by Capitol. This pressing is an F28 pressing, not sure, I could be LA pressing, I don't know. But yeah, so some things that I will take note of on this album is that if I were to run... Oh, there's something else. Maybe I have a second poster in there. Oh yeah, I got a second poster in there. um, Anywho, only came with one poster. I must have had a spare I picked up. So the singles were Band on the Run and Jet. Now, I would say most of the songs on this album, first solo McCartney album, I could safely say that the album tracks got good heavy FM radio rotation. Band on the Run, Jet, Bluebird, Mrs. Vanderbilt, Let Me Roll It, Mammonia, Mammonia, oh, ho, ho. No Words, Helen Wheels, Picasso's Last Words, Drink to Me, Drink to My Health, and 1985, which ends in a little brief reprise of Band on the Run. There's and even the cover, you got just a really great cover. You got a great back cover. I mean, just a nice thematic album. Can you even tell me what the singles were on the previous 4 McCartney solo or Wings albums? Very few that I can think of off the top of my head. But every song on this was a hit. It really revitalized Paul McCartney's post-Beatles career. His follow-ups, Venus and Mars, another one of my favorite albums. I'll feature that at some point on the channel. Speed of Sound. Then the Wings Over America triple LP album, live album. Back to the Egg. London Town. I think London Town came before Back to the Egg. And then you get into the 80s with his solo career, starting with McCartney too. But this really kick-started Paul's solo career. Couple that with the monster hit of Live and Let Die from the James Bond classic of the same name, Live and Let Die. Really, really, again, really jump-started Paul's solo career. And then I even remember as a kid, back at this point, there was a TV special tie-in. So he was also into really promoting. And Capital EMI, I'll say, because Capital here in the States, really got into promoting the album as well. They got behind Paul. And what a classic album. I really doubt anybody watching this video has never heard the album. But if you've never heard the album, what are you waiting for? It's available on, obviously, vinyl, compact disc, cassette tape, 8-track, you name it. You can probably download it digitally and listen to it. What a great album. It's an experience, and I would be safe to say with this album, Paul got back into his Beatles groove of making good music, commercial music, listenable music, hit music, and music that undoubtedly was close to his heart. So there you go. Band on the Run. Band on the Run. Yeah, grab it. And this belongs... I don't have a lot of solo Beatles stuff, but this is not just a great post-Beatles, ex-Beatle members album. It's just a great classic, 1970s rock album. So even if it wasn't Beatles related, I would still be telling you to get the album. So anyway, there you go. We'll wrap it up with that. As always, it's me, David, Jersey Boy Music. And by the way, if you are on the hunt for classic vintage vinyl, visit me at jerseyboymusic.net. That takes you to my eBay store. And I got back from a trip recently. I got a stack of records I got to clean and listen to, play test them, and I will get them listed. But I still have a few hundred albums up for sale. So there you go. I'll catch you on the flip side. Thank you so much for watching.